Good morning. So today is Friday and it's April 18th, 2025. So we are back from vacation and yesterday afternoon is when we got back. It was a short one, but good and impactful. I have some videos that I captured from the trip. My hair. Anyway, so it was great. You guys would see I have captured videos with my daughter, especially the first day. We had some fun where we were interviewing each other. They had a little attic loft type of place. So Alice and we were doing that. So I'm going to be uploading it in the next few days. Um, and we were there 3 nights. It was in Pennsylvania. It's about 3 hours from here. And I wish the weather was a bit better. The first day when we reached in the afternoon, weather was good, so we were able to spend time outside. The second day was off and on rain, and the third day was windy. Second day also was like with rain, it was windy. But so we got to spend more time indoors than we would want to. We wanted to go outside, run around more because they had open field. You'd see when I upload the videos. But overall, it was a great trip, and I always love trips. And you guys would see that I would make some videos about the R.I.C.H quadrant I talk about for life. The R.I.C.H quadrant is R stands for relationship, all sorts of relationships with your family, friend, coworkers, everybody, your loved ones, and I is the ideal life, and I'll come to that. And C is career, job, finance, and the H is health, physical and emotional health. So three of them are self-explanatory. The relationship, career, and health we kind of keep track of. But the ideal life is the part which is intangible, and that has the power to change your life in so many ways. And for different people, it's different things. It's basically your deepest desires and dreams. And I have a whiteboard here. I haven't made the video yet, but I'll make some videos in that explaining more deep concept around it. But if you have been following my channel for a while, I know some of you, and thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming back and giving thumbs up and comments and sharing. And I've been so grateful. It's been in a month, it'll be a 1 year anniversary to the channel, and I have lots of plans around that. I'll tell you guys. So, I talk about this quadrant thing. So for me, it's travel. So the way every 3-4 months I have to go do a little trip. And somehow my daughter, Alice, 9 years old daughter, she also turned out like that. She loves trips, even though in this trip there was lots of iPad playing on iPad. So we have to limit that in the next one. But anyway. But we were stuck indoors for a while because of the weather, so she had to. Anyway, so yeah, you got to do that. But one interesting thing I actually realized this morning is that, which I didn't expect, and it was a good thing, is that sometimes the trips also helps you to reflect more on your life. So what I mean by that is, normally as we go, like you guys know if you're coming to my channel often, that a lot of things are happening. I started this channel a year ago when late 2023 is when I lost my job and my marriage at the same time. And first few months I was like a zombie. I didn't know what was going on. And then I started making daily videos since May, Memorial Day of 2024. It was 27th. Today, this year it's 26th. My calendar is over there. 26th. So anyway, when I started this channel, of course, the biggest reason was I wanted to make it for my own survival guide, and then I thought that it would be nice if it also becomes someone else's survival guide, because I have been through many challenging situations in my life, and I'm pretty sure you guys all did too. Um, but in some way, at least I found myself, like, my story was so different than many people because I didn't have anybody here. All my family is in India, so I was by myself and had to kind of navigate it all by myself. It was back in 2008 when the market crashed and everything happened, and I was on visa, and I lost my job, and situation was like, in 3 months, if I don't get a job, I have to go back to India. I mean, it's not the the worst thing in the world, but it was, I don't know. I mean, you have those feelings that kind of shame and things like that. Like, if I came here 2005, and I wanted to live here. And in some way, at least at that time, it felt like that. If I couldn't get a job, if I had to go back, like a failure or something. But anyway, long story short, even though it was very difficult, and I'm glad I had some really, really great friends, and now I do too. Some of the friends are same, and some of the friends are new. And in life, that's what happens. You have people and places, and then either they grow out of that or you grow out of that, and then things change, and it's part of life. So there were a couple other times. I would say another time was 2018. Our day-to-day life, there are challenges, but those big ones where you survive and come out on the other end, then you realize that we are capable of so much more than we think. We think that we cannot survive that storm, um, but we do. Either it is, whichever way, some sort of supernatural power or things like that. You figure out ways. So for me, at least 2008 and 2018 was some big um, things that I had to overcome, and then I thought, this one was the biggest, but yeah, now when I look back, so 2008 was about career, 2018 was about health, and when I talk about Quadrant, each of them are so important, and yeah, and then when you're in your midlife, you lose your career, and uh, the strongest relationship in your life is the marriage. You lose at the same time. You kind of lose your identity, and it takes a while to rebuild it. But something in me said um, that I could do it. I didn't know how, but that's the belief. That's the belief that you gotta have. Whatever that is, you just have to keep going. And if you see my journey, I and that time, like I said, I didn't know where life was heading to. I was practicing Buddhism very deep, and my picture over there actually was a Buddha picture, and then here I had a Hindu god Shiva picture, and those are in the videos you'd see, and that was, I don't know, part of exploring and learning more and see what really deeply resonated with me. And then some life experiences got me to the point that I started following Christianity. And there's a picture of Jesus over there. He's teaching, I think, 5 kids there. Yeah, 5 kids. What I believe is that whatever we believe in, it's okay, but have your belief to be so strong that you can believe in the unseen. Because if you think of this, when their fear and worry and anxiety comes out, you start believing that it is so real that starts affecting your body, right? Meaning, when I say you, it's me too, like, getting worried, anxious, whatever, because that is also unseen. So Bob Proctor said it really nicely, that faith or fear, both are unseen. He said it a little differently, but the concept is that both faith and fear both are unseen, and you got to believe in the. If you believe in faith, then that becomes big. So normally we tend to believe in that fear, and that goes with the inner critic and inner coach. You can name it so many ways. And in Christianity, I find that message is so simple as the good and bad. Good, I would say the inner coach, the good, or I could call it Holy Spirit. And the inner critic is the bad, or the devil, God and devil. And it doesn't, if that doesn't resonate with you, if that is something you didn't grow up with, I totally get it, because I think all of our life unfolds in a way that is supposed to now. If somebody told me this 5 years ago, I would have looked at it very differently. But my life circumstances and the way things happened, and the way my daughter Alice, she actually first got into Christianity, and she is the most important person, most important thing in my life. So I just believe that, when God wants you to turn towards God, and when it is planned, it just happens the way it's supposed to. Looking back, so in 2 days, it's Easter, the Sunday, and I remember when Alice was growing up, this Memorial Day weekend, interestingly, always had some, I don't know, some significance now. Steve Jobs said that when it's easier to connect the dots looking backwards. You'll always be able to connect the dots looking backward. You cannot connect them looking forward, but you just have to believe that the dots will always connect. So why I say that is, when Alice was little, or like 3-4 years old or something, there was, I don't know, several times either she would get sick or one of us would get sick. And I think after 2 or 3 years, we kind of dreaded the Memorial Day weekend, because there was always something going wrong, because it became kind of like a pattern. And then in 2023, 2 years ago, I was in India. I went there after 10 years. And my daughter stayed here with her dad. And yeah, had a little interesting time in India. Where I say interesting, I love my mom, and she has unconditional love for me. But after going there in India after 10 years, I figured how there's a thing called reverse culture shock. I don't know if you guys have heard it. You can Google it, what it means. So basically, even though I'm from India, I grew up in India until my early 20s. But then after living here for this long, when I went back, and my family, they live in a small town in India. So what I figured is that a lot of my thinking and their thinking, we were not matching. It was going in two different direction. But that's the thing. Sometimes, in life, we either we outgrow the places and people, and sometimes they outgrow us. I mean, it's nobody's fault. It is life. And anyway, so that was that. And then last year, 2014. Yeah, so that was Easter of 2023. And then, oh yeah, so speaking about Memorial Day, so Memorial Day weekend, I remember we did a party at our backyard, like a big party. There was like, I don't remember, 20, 30 people with kids and parents. That was fun. And I remember some things are hard to plan because I came back from India, it was mid-April, and I had COVID. I got COVID in the plane. Even though I got a vaccine 3 months before then, I got COVID and the long flight. So when I came back, it was hard because I was out only for 2.5 weeks, but my daughter she was 7 years old then. Yeah, so it was hard that I was not able to hug her because I had the COVID, so I was isolating. And when I was in India, I couldn't really speak to her as much because of the time difference. So when I came back, I was isolating for over 2 weeks because the COVID was showing positive even beyond 14 days. So it felt like over a month. I couldn't hug her, and so it was hard. But anyway, after there was a lot going on in that year, I planned for this Memorial Day party 2023. It was good. It was good. And so last year, Memorial Day is when I started these videos. In some way, yeah, the thing started about 6-7 months before then, but before then I think I was in such a zombie state that I didn't know how I would make it. Of course, when I started the videos also, I didn't know how I would make it. I think first when I thought that I would start a channel like this was March, which would be about 3-4 months down the line when it happened. But then, oh yeah, I remember last year, March 31st was Easter, so we went to a church. Alice fell down from a little hill, and normally, I mean, there were other kids also running, but she fell down, she broke her arm. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about that time. So April and May of last year was nightmares because she broke her arm. 2 weeks down the line, she fell again at school. So we had to go check the arm again. And then 4 or 6 more weeks, she healed it. And the very first day, she was back at PE, physical education, where they do exercise, running around. She fell down, she broke her arm again. And then it was not healing right, and then they had to do a surgery. The surgery was, I think, end of June. And there was many other things happening. And looking back, again, connecting the dots, looking backwards versus looking forward. Sometimes, when you're going through real difficulty and challenges and you feel like, why all of this are happening, you just have to believe that there's a reason behind everything. And the higher power, God's plan is always better than our own plan. And I was in a place that I was not ready to let things go. And sometimes God forces us to, I don't know, move on in life. And, based on our life experience, based on everything, we give meaning to it. Now, somebody else could read it in a different way, but that's how I read it, because by the time I was ready to let things go, then after that, things calmed down, life calmed down. And my interpretation from that was that God forced me to to um, to do that. Sometime, if your whole life was a book, and I don't know, like think of each chapter is a year and each day is a page. Sometimes we get stuck. Sometimes we get stuck in a page, or sometimes we get stuck in a chapter that we need to close. We need to move on to the next chapter. But we are not ready. We just want to stay stuck in that chapter, and then God forces us, because that's what is good for us. And in the end, you just got to remember that we are so like a tiny speck. So over there, you guys can see I have a picture of a universe. It's like this big. And when I get up from bed, when I go to bed, I look at this picture, and a lot of time it's kind of like a reminder for myself, like, how, in a good way, how insignificant our life is, right? We live 50, 100 years. My dad died when he was 52 years old. He had a stroke. Anyway, like, 100 years from now, nobody will remember us. When we live a good life, we spread the goodness. Some goodness continues to the next generation. I mean, if you think of it, even in your own family, think of people 5 generations before, 10 generations before. Nobody even really talks about them, right? Some of the things, traditions, rituals, probably gets carried down, but in general, So sometimes when you look at that, it kind of reminds you that not to worry so much about the little things in life. Just live life in a way so that you don't regret. And I'm glad that all of this that happened, gave me a perspective, because there's so much in life we do to please others. We do to make sure that when we are judged by people, that they don't judge us in a way that, that we didn't do this right, or we didn't do it their way. And it just, I don't know, makes us unhappy. And it's not that you want to do it at the cost of, I don't know, ruining relationships, or, but you gotta, only external validations you have to look for is God, if you believe in God. Or ask your own inner coach that the thing that you are doing or about to do, is it going to hurt anybody else, or is it going to hurt you, your family, in the short term, long term, As long as you're not hurting anybody, anything that you're doing is off limits. Because, it took me a long time, 40 some years, to realize that you got to live your own life. And people who stick around you are the people who really know you, and they'll be there for you. Same thing, you will be there for them. And sometimes, even if you don't spend as much time together because of schedule or whatnot, people will understand. So I have a friend and her mom, and they watch my videos too. If you're seeing this one, hi. And her mom, I call her auntie. She's like my own mom here. So they used to live close by. But now they're a little bit further, so we're not meeting as often, but she'll be moving again, so that'll be a little closer. We'll be spending more time together. And the reason I bring them up is because I feel so blessed. I feel so grateful for them being in my life, because sometimes even though your friends, you may not be family, but your friends, but your friends can be more than your family, and they're like that to me. I'm grateful that I have a few other really, really good friends, and friendship is something that, like, friendship or relationship, it's all give and take. As they give you, you also have to give something. I mean, when I say give, I don't necessarily mean material gift. I mean just being there for them, and you may not be always be there for them, which happens with families too. But it's that it's intangible. So my friend and her mom, they introduced me to Christianity, and before that also I knew from some other friends, but my most significant learning was from them. And I'm so grateful. And it's just, I tell my friend that she shared the things exactly what I needed to hear at those moments. It's not I wanted to hear, I needed to hear, because we all have certain, I don't know, logic or whatever, that belief or things like that is stacked in our mind based on the life that we have lived. And even though we didn't grow up from the same, in the same country or same place, but there's this, the things that we shared and the way she shared made such a significant difference. And I'm just blessed. I feel blessed. And so I was saying from the trip, like, when you come back, because sometimes you keep going, go. I was in that mode, and which I'll probably get back again in that, because I have, for the anniversary, I have some really, really cool plans coming. I'll do a Monday, Mindful Monday, which is we'll do a little mindfulness practice videos every Monday. Wednesday will be a longer series. The videos are going to be under 20 minutes. So this one will be about divorce, healing after divorce, and midlife reinvention. So three sections. One is just actual divorce recovery, and the second is, and that is the part where it gets really interesting, and I'll tell you guys about it in the series, that you think you are healed, but you're actually not. I'll give you an example. So I had that situation for a while. So I was attending a divorce care session at the church, and I thought I was fully healed by then. and they were talking about in the kitchen how the woman was trying to open I think it was peanut butter jar, and she was having a hard time. I started crying. So that's the part where you think you are healed, but it's still, I mean, some memories will always come back, but then how you move from there. So that's when you think it's the healing illusion, because you think you're fully healed, but you're not. And those are the times when you're not fully healed and you go with another person, you are still going to attract somebody who is also not healed, and that doesn't end well for either of you. And the third one is the midlife reinvention, like a real reinvention, right? Where you do something impossible you think you couldn't do or you didn't do in the past. So for me, like, starting this business, going all in, it's something like that. So each of them will have anywhere between 3 to 5 episodes. So think of it's like 10 to 15 episodes altogether for this three. So I'm gonna have that on Wednesday nights, and Thursday will be Thankful Thursday. So on Thursday we'll do a little gratitude practice, and sometimes daily things could be hard, but weekly is possible. 5 minutes a week. So on Thursday, so we'll have 3 series running: Monday, Mindful Monday, um, Divorce Recovery, the longer series, and Thankful Thursday. So Monday and Thursday would be quick, under 4 minutes, and the middle one would be about 20 minutes. So we're gonna start that from the anniversary week. Before that, I have another 2 more things that's planned. One is I'm gonna create a gift for you guys. It's gonna be, I think, a 2 to 3 pager where I'll share some real tip, which is scattered in different videos in different area, but I'll give you guys sort of like a cheat sheet that you guys can follow it, and you will see a real difference. So that'll be in the coming weeks, sometime about mid-May. And then the anniversary time, when 3 series are going live, I'm planning to also have a gratitude journal, and it's going to be a little different than the gratitude journals that you see out there in Amazon or everything. So it's more deeper, more impactful, and so those are coming. Those are. I'll make a short video with this, announcing this, because I know these longer videos are not for everybody. Some of you watch it, and thank you. So I like to keep you guys up to date with what's happening, what's coming. And then after that, after the gratitude journal, a book is coming where I will be explaining the what is the R.I.C.H quadrant, right? The 4 quadrants, more deep, with real life experience and stories and things like that. And the triangle, where I talk about how, because the how part is important. The biggest part is like the speaking, right? So thinking, speaking, action. So that creates the how. It is so useful. I actually made that my phone screensaver, so I even use it every single day. It's the secret to happiness, and because there's always going to be good and bad happening in the world, but how do you keep your focus on the good? And that's what will keep you happy, because it's all up to us. What we focus on is going to make us happy or sad. There'll always be, because if there is no big challenges, your mind can focus on the small challenges and make it big. That's what happens, right? You know it. So these are the tools. I'll explain more on those. So the first book, I don't know the exact date yet. It could be like end of July, end of August, but definitely going to be this year. And there could be more subsequent books, depending on many things. So yeah, I'm not stopping in this movement, and you guys can too, especially folks who are coming here often. Let me know how your life has changed or changing from your experience in the comment, because you never know who you are going to inspire. Because when I started this journey, I did not know, trust me. I mean, I thought of it, but I did not know that the person I will become by now. And I like this version of me than the version I was before. There's so many areas I do things differently. I'm not perfect, and perfection is does not exist. So there's this interesting thing I'm going to share if you're still watching this video. Um, so I have been watching, or listening rather, Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen is a pastor. If you don't know, he's very popular, and he could be a little controversial figure because some people don't like his teachings and some people do like his teaching. Anyway, for me, the way I learn from everybody is that I really follow the concept of Wayne Dyer, where he said, "In we are all in art school." So every experience that I have, from each comment, like responding or texting with somebody or watching TV or anything, I try to separate the person from the thing that is shared, because that's the only way we can grasp the knowledge, and then it's easier to grasp that way. So anyway, so I like his teaching, so I've been watching lately a lot. So one of the things this morning or yesterday I think I heard, and it's surprised me a little bit. At the same time, it's not. So I'm going to share what it is. So in Bible, there is, like, the Old Testament and a New Testament, and I don't know the whole Bible yet because I'm kind of new. I became Christian late last year, and so Apostle Paul, I think I said it right, Apostle Paul, who wrote the half of the New Testament, which is like very popular amongst Christian, right? Half of the New Testament, he wrote that. And he said, it seems, according to the speech from Joel Osteen, that he said that so Paul was dying every day and getting born every day. So what he meant by that is that we have this good and bad, like if you think of like the way I talk about inner critic and inner coach, the inner critic is always there, and even him, he had to, like, he wrote half of New Testament. Every single day he had to choose this over this, because it doesn't completely go away. It is there. And so you have to choose, if the person who wrote the Bible, half of the Bible and the New Testament, if they have to choose, we have to choose. And it's like, it's not, it does not ever fully go away. And that goes with this too, that the series that you guys are seeing, and today's the last day, 30th day. If you guys are following that, how to become irresistible, how to date after divorce. I have shared lots of videos for 30 days. There was a short at 12 p.m. and 7 p.m. I had the 3 tips. So those are based on a lot of research. And so one interesting thing I talk about is, like, if you are here, you're not healed, you'll attract somebody who is here. And if you're fully healed, you're going to attract somebody who is healed. So you'll have a better relationship, because the second marriage divorce rate is double the first marriage, because we don't heal ourselves, and then we attract the people who are also not healed. And the percentages comes from, John and Julie Gottman, their study for 45 years. You can look them up. I don't have any affiliation with them, but I'm just super inspired with their studies. And I, even after divorce and all of that, I still believe in true love. I still believe that, there is so much, there's beauty in true love, that the frequency of love is as close to like peace. Peace is higher, enlightenment is higher, but it's pretty high up there. So anyway, yeah, I just was thinking about a thing that I heard in the video radio this morning about that, like, where the lady was sharing that how love is about sacrifice to make the other person happy. And sometimes, yes, it is a sacrifice, and with that, there's a lot of also the other person also does that. Like, think of like your love for your child. You do anything and everything. Sometimes you make sacrifices to make them happy, and that is the unconditional love. unfortunately, when we're in a relationship with a person, older person, we don't do that, and that's why they don't do it also. Right? But in beginning of a relationship, people do that, and the same love doesn't continue later because both people stop doing that. But anyway, so where I was going with that is, if you're following that series, uh, one point also to remember is that sometimes, because our inner coach and inner critic, no matter how much you coach yourself, there is that version always there. So you have to choose that, right? Plus, when you are under the same roof 24 hours, sometimes you would react. You want to respond, but you would react. That's the reality of it. If somebody is saying that, no, they're completely changed, they're never going to react, that is not true. So when you go with somebody, you have to make sure that some reacting that you're going to do, they can live with that. At the same time, you can live with that, their reaction, because there will be some reaction. And those are the things you'll find out as you keep dating for a longer period of time, or if you decide to live together before getting married, which in this country, actually these days, I guess in India also they do it a lot. You're living together before you get married, and that kind of helps you to see that it's not only the good times that you can navigate with each other, even the challenging times, how you can navigate gracefully. And there might be times that there won't be any grace, because that is the part of living under the same roof 24/7. Now, you may not be living exactly 24/7 under the same roof, because you'll go to work and, I don't know, exercise, gym, and other things. However, that connection between you two, between two people as partners, is strong. That connection reflects in other areas of your life. And the quadrant, the R.I.C.H, rich, the ideal life, where if it's whatever, the travel, fun, whatever your definition of your deepest desires and dreams are, especially when you are in the second half of your life, it is a good idea to see that more or less your deepest desires and dreams matches, because a lot of time that is what creates the bitterness, the resentment in a relationship, because you guys might have heard the love language test. So if one person's love language is spending quality time together, and for the other person the quality time doesn't even matter, it's at the bottom. There are 5 love languages, yours is at the top and another person it's at the bottom. Guess what? There will be friction. There will be a lot of friction, because we all are different human beings. Everything is not going to match between both of you, but somehow you feel excited. What are the things really, really you feel like those are your dreams? Like, if I were to think, like, you guys know by now, I love traveling. and and after 3-4 months, I start feeling like, I need one. And for me, it's not like, I don't have to go to another country. I just drive 2 hours from here, and then I it's like recharging. Think of yourself like, for you, if you needed a battery to recharge, you are not robots, but if you think of it that way, that recharging is that you feel like motivated, energized, like something that is hard to draw from your career or other things, right? So that's where your dreams and desires, when they're fulfilled, even if it's a little, then you feel like you're recharged, right? So, and sometimes some of it you can go do it yourself. It's like, if you like fishing or camping, go do it. Don't wait for others. And sometimes doing something alone is also fun. Like, sometime for me, like, I go to a coffee shop, drink coffee, and read books. Like, for example, a bunch of books here, but this book, you guys know, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. I read a lot of books last year, and I still do, because reading the books and online research, TED Talks, and all of that. I love the field of personal growth, self-transformation, self-development, whatever you know call it is, um, connected with spiritual growth. Um, so for me, when I drink coffee in a coffee shop, like few hours, read books, even that is like filling my bucket. You guys know that I talk about, filling your bucket is like, filling those good things and, your dreams and desires, like little thing always you can do. Like, if travel is your thing, you are going to Hawaii, Alaska, wherever, okay, your bucket is overflowing, great, but you can always do little things. If you go for coffee or something that makes you happy, you can fill up a little. A little bit is better than nothing, right? You may not be able to go to Hawaii next month, but you can go spend time with your friends in a coffee shop, or you can, go to a farm with your kid and other your friends, and that could fill up your bucket. There's so many things you can do. Just think of what you can do versus what you can't do, because if you focus on what you can do, your inner coach, there's always something good you can do to keep filling your bucket, because ultimately everybody's chasing that, chasing, if you're looking for, I don't know, higher pay at your organization, promotion or something, you are looking to feel better, you are looking to do more things, that you'll have more money or whatever, but that all is for the feeling, right? And there's a difference between joy and happiness. You want to go after joy. Joy is more cultivated inwards, and happiness is the shorter version. Excuse me, meaning you get promotion, but for 2-3 months you really are excited about that, but after that, that fades, and that is happiness. It's interesting, the term joy is small, but that is longer lasting, and the happiness is big, but that's actually short-lived. So the joy is where you can feel happy for the little things. Maybe like, you read this book and you learned something really, like how to be positive even when you have significant negative things going on in your life, and that's how you cultivate joy, and that's what you want to learn, because in the longer term, that's what matters, because we learn to focus on the positive things. Now, not in life, there will be days, there might be, sometimes there will be weeks whenever you are not, like, really fully feeling it. And it's okay to reach out for help to your friends, and you can comment here. And, there are ways, and that's where the triangle thing that I talk about, our thinking, speaking, action, it goes in cycles. And a lot of time what happens is when we're thinking sad things, we start speaking about sad things. You've noticed that probably. And then the action that we take also relates to this, because as we're speaking the sad things, normal action would be, okay, I'll go to the gym, go for a walk. Instead of that, because your mind is sad, you're just staying home, being depressed. So all your speaking, versus if you say that, okay, I'm going to push myself to go to the gym, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to push myself, whatever that is for you, that has a higher possibility of you taking the action, because it's all about increasing the possibility of you taking the positive action, because action is ultimately what changes us. And for me, if you see the videos, you can binge watch them, because I have every day those videos in 2024. When I started it on Memorial Day, I forced myself to speak positively and take positive action every single day. And those videos where I'm like, no matter what happens, I'm not going to talk negative, I'm going to push myself. Sometime it might have been neutral, you would see, because things are really crazy, especially when my daughter broke her arm the second time and she had a surgery. That was not easy, my goodness. Whew. Anyway, so the point is, you got to force yourself. So, and then as you do that, then it becomes a habit. So now when I'm, waiting, the other day it was a Toastmasters contest, and I was sitting there and I just wanted to do mindfulness practice. With all my senses, I was trying to smell what I was smelling. I was trying to hear the sound, and now even I can remember the experience I had there, because practicing mindfulness with all my 5 senses has become a habit. So anyway, so it's your mind just gets trained in a way. When you're consistent, you just keep doing that, but your mind will still slip back here sometime, as Apostle Paul, who even for him, he had to do that every single day. And according to Joel Osteen, even he is so popular when he has to do that. So we all, if our mind gets here, you have to, have a formula to get to there every day. And again, I respect everybody's belief and how they connect with God. So, I also request everybody to respect my belief. And here and there, I had some comments where people were, a long time ago, not lately, but I would encourage you to, respect everybody's belief, the way they follow the religion. So it's all about respect, right? So let's keep it that way, because all of our life's journey has shaped us for the way we see things, the way we connect with things. And one of the example I use is, I don't have a yellow Post-it here, it's inside the bag, but I have a yellow Post-it card here so you guys can see. So if I ask this color, somebody who grew up in India, they would relate it more with turmeric, right? Now the same Post-it, if I ask people here in the United States, they will relate it with mustard color. And the reason I bring this up is because you relate to things with what you are familiar with, right? Our mind, the brain, kind of goes looking for what's most closest. It's the same Post-it, right? Like one is saying turmeric, another saying mustard. Nobody is wrong. They both are right based on their own life experience, but there's a similarity. They both are connecting with yellow, right? So that's how I kind of suggest people to kind of look at what's common, not what is different. You don't have to convince this person that no, it's mustard, and you don't have to convince this person that it's turmeric. So that's all I have to say there. But yeah, I liked this interesting experience that I had a little bit after this trip. Was good because it made me think some things even more on a deeper level, which I didn't completely expect. And sometimes I think that happens when you, because when you go on a trip, like the mindfulness practice that we do with our senses, the short-term ones, they work, you live in the moment. But I think when you go for a trip or something, because your whole environment changes, you're smelling different things, you're seeing different things. For us, it was a log cabin, so it was like, log cabin. Normally we don't live in a log cabin. And you're hearing different sounds. There was like birds and stuff we were like hearing constantly, which is great. And tasting different food, and the temperature was different, all of this. Our senses, it was like kind of forced to live in a different way for like several days, 2.5 days. We were there 3 nights. And I think it kind of takes your mind in a place that where you start, you're kind of taken aback a little bit, and you kind of look at things like external. And sometimes that's what we have to do. We have to pull ourselves out of that, all the things that's going on in our life, and then look at it like what really matters. What are the things that you want to focus on more? What are the things you want to focus on less? It gives a even deeper perspective. Anyway, it's more, that's how I'm looking at it. Like for you, it may be different, but I would definitely highly encourage you to do the deepest desires and dreams, the ideal life, R.I.C.H, rich quadrant. I'll cover more on that board in the coming weeks. And again, I'm super excited about the upcoming things, 3 different series starting from anniversary week, last week of May, and the gift with the formulas for you guys, and then gratitude journal. A lot of things coming up in a month or so, within a month or so. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. And please do share this channel with others. Everybody knows somebody who is going through divorce, or they're in this place where they're either healed or they think they're healed, but they're not. They're suffering. Life is short. It is supposed to be fun. It is supposed to be good. It's not supposed to be, you don't want to keep sulking for years or even, for months after months, because you can find joy in everyday blessing. You can find joy in everyday blessing. So that comes from one of my coffee cup. If you come here often, I know that I have those, that I have those nice writing in the coffee cups, and I buy them from dollar store. If you haven't seen them, you should go check it out. They always have some good coffee cups. This one is also from dollar store, but this says coffee time. I like this one too. I'm a big fan of cappuccino, but at home I just drink coffee. I drink cappuccino when I go to Starbucks, and the nice write up in coffee cups. Yes, I always love it. Okay, so with that, I'm going to finish the video. I know that I love making these videos, and I know that some of you really enjoy it too. Thank you very much. These days, I don't get to make it every day with everything going on, but here and there I do, and I appreciate all of you guys. Really, really do, more than especially the folks who are regular here. You guys have a special place in my heart. And if you want to comment, please comment about the content. I am grateful that you guys think that I look great, but that's not for this channel. It's more about the content. So please do comment about the content. Thank you. Bye.